welcome to Factorio Beltalowda recap episode number 1. So I have started a new series on Twitch, a new Factorio series on Twitch, and this episode here on YouTube is in order for anyone to catch up in case they missed it, or serve as a bit of an advertising for someone who might have missed the fact that I've started a brand new and exciting episode or a new series on Twitch. So this episode in particular will catch up on the rules of this new and exciting series, and also just catch up on where we are. Now, the very first thing, let's get some of the meta information out of the way. I am expecting to stream this on Twitch 3 to 4 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 8 p.m. Central European Time. And maybe sometimes also Mondays, so 3 to 4 times a week. That's each hour, each 4 times. It will not be, the VODs will be available on Twitch, but they will not be available on YouTube. You can comment all you like, but I really don't want to have this much 12, 14, 16 hours of stream content on my YouTube channel. It doesn't belong, so instead I'm doing these recaps on a weekly basis. The first one after the first episode, and the next one probably next week. So that's sort of the meta information. I encourage you to check it out, if only just to say hi. I appreciate it, and I do love the direct interaction we have on Twitch. Now, with that being said, let's go into what is this. The series is called Beltalowda. Beltalowda is a sort of double entendre in terms of the reference. It is a reference from the sci-fi series, The Expanse, and Beltalowda means people of the belt. We are the people of the belt. We have come to a new world in order to mine it. And that's what we are, people of the belt. Well, we are also going to make a belt-based base to the farthest extent I can. So that's sort of the setting. It is very much vanilla with a few exceptions, and we'll go through those exceptions right now. The first one, quite obviously, and this is why I started with a zoomed out view, is the map. It is full of ore, and everything around it is surrounded by ore. And that's also one of the key constraints. We have this little circle in the beginning, and you can see we are starting to mine it in different locations. The challenge is that I cannot build stuff on here. As soon as I build stuff on the ore, it just gets destroyed immediately. The only thing I can build is miners. So I need to mine this. That one we can also do. What we can also do is we can also make cars, since they are not really entities here. So what I need to do is I need to start mining this. This one has 310. And I need to move this in order to get more space to work on. Now the space we have is kind of limited, and especially limited in terms of that there's no oil. Also, there's no uranium until we get all the way out there. But in such, there should be a lot of materials. It's just a matter of getting there. And that'll be the big challenge continuously through the game. It'll be a balance between, I want to get more materials, which will be... Okay, there's a couple of silly mods as well. I lost my train of thought. Let's just cover that one.
Ow, 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 ow.
Yep, that's not me saying it. It's a mod. When I bump into things with the vehicle, it goes ow, 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 ow. So back to the topic at hand, being our mining operation. So the mining operation will be sort of balanced between getting stuff mined so that we can claim more space, and also making it hopefully as square as possible so that we can more easily get it in. So there'll be a lot of filter operations, a lot of storage, because we're going to need to store all the stuff we get in. And there will not be enough room to build like a nice standard bus setup. So we're going to have to build sort of more of a, let's say, ad hoc wherever there's room for it, or sort of casually called a spaghetti base. Now, on top of that, there's another feature mod included. Let's roll down here and see if we can avoid hitting something. Here we go. So these little fellas here, these are my helpers. This is part of the mod called Mining Drones by Clonan. It is basically an alternative to mining, and this is part of sort of my Twitch integration. Every time I make a Twitch series, I always want to have some kind of integration to sort of allow people who are supporting me to sort of see a direct impact on the game. Kind of a unique thing. So this is what we have. Any subscription on Twitch or any resubscription on Twitch will allow me to build one more drone, so we can build more drones here. Each one for each subscription or resubscription as that comes along for next when it's running over a month. And you can see they start off, they run back and forth, so you'd have to move this location closer if you want them to farm further. Right now they spend too much time running back and forth, and so they are really good when it's very close, but they are not very good once they have a long distance. Also here there are 24, but most of them are actually not engaged. The reason why they're not active is because there's nothing. There was so much filled in here in this internal buffer that it doesn't dispatch anyone. Now we have more out here, so we can start filling that up. The other part of the Twitch integration is any donations, bits or dollar donations, or any other currency for that matter, is enable me to get more power. So electrical power. So that is this little thing here. It's also a way for me to save space and actually just not have half the base taken up with coal power. So this is here, you can see it up here. We have some power we use and how much we have available. So that will be, in the beginning, it'll not be a problem at all. But as we start scaling up and get into beacon setups and modules, then power usually spikes really hard. And that will also be a way for me to conserve space. So anything else here is pretty much vanilla. There are a few sort of convenience mods, such as nanobots, squeak through, even distribution, afraid of the dark. Yeah, I think those are vehicle snap, those kind of things, but nothing game changing. So if you like the vanilla build experience, there we go. And now there's a trick to it, or some convenience here in terms of what is different with this build. And there's certainly some things that are different, and that means the whole base design will be different from what we usually do. Now that's going to be pretty much what we can do. You can see I have this special setup where I have normal burner miners mining into vehicles, because that's the only way I can mine outside of my area. Yeah. And yeah, some would say cheating way of doing it, but I would say this is a kind of a cool way to sort of allow myself to make sort of like branches out here, which might be useful at some point if we want to sort of, well, I definitely want to get more iron, and we don't have a lot of iron right now. We have a lot of everything else as we start moving out, and iron will certainly be a problem until we get up to this fat juicy thing. Also, when we have all this water, when we get there, we can actually landfill and use that for base of operations as well. So that's going to be interesting as well. All this base, this is going to be growing every episode. I expect, honestly, this base, I want to build it into a mega base. My ambition is I want to build it into a build base, mega base, without trains, without logistics robots, sort of too many logistics robots at least. And that's going to be one hell of a challenge. And that means it's going to be a series I will expect to run for a couple of 100 hours at the very least. So we should be seeing this running until the springtime, which would be nice. I mean, spring's nice, right? So I think that's enough of a catch up on the first episode. We've talked about sort of the setting, the rules, the progress so far. Well, not so much about the progress. You can kind of see that, deduce that, since one is familiar. We have our kickstart, jumpstart base. We have red and green signs. Red and green signs is being worked on. I'm working my way through all the red and green signs. I will need to make some when we get oil, we will make some blue signs. We do have biters, but I've set the biters to be at the very big starting area. So I'm actually a bit surprised that we don't see any biters. But on the other hand, our pollution is definitely even stretching further out than we can see. So we are going to suddenly get a nice friendly visit from our neighbors. Right, so my last call to action is I hope to see you on Twitch for one of these live streams. Even if it doesn't fit you watching a live stream, it's always cool just dropping by and saying hi. And it's I do very much appreciate and I love the direct engagement we have on Twitch where you can point out my mistakes immediately. We can talk about sort of different designs and that kind of thing in real time. Now, also I should mention this has no impact, no bearing on my ongoing Factorio series on YouTube. They will continue as usual, no change there. This is in addition, so I have something different on Twitch, something different on YouTube. Now, that should be it for us. I will see you guys on Twitch or on YouTube. Until then, stay effective.